Can you really start over in Zimbabwe? Is the rural life for everyone? Since my first video, I've been receiving a lot of my comments from people, suggestions. But my question, the question that I've been thinking a lot about, and I actually had to sit down with my wife, is a rural life for everyone? And can anyone and everyone be able to start over in Zimbabwe? I do understand that satisfaction. I do understand that peace of mind, the sense of belonging, can only be found when you are in your own country, when you are owning things, not renting. Uine zvinhu zvinonzi zvako, kwete zvinhu zvekubhadhara rent. So mubvunzo wangu wanga uri kuti ndinogona here kutonorarama upenyu hwapamusha? That might also be a question to you. I'm talking about relocation, I'm talking about investing in Zimbabwe. But where are you going to be staying in Zimbabwe? Where are you going to be spending your retirement in Zimbabwe? That's a question you're not going to kuchibatsira. Because a lot of resistance that comes when we talk about relocation or relocating or moving back to Zimbabwe or even just investing in Zimbabwe, the main question is, what comes into mind is the negativity. Hakuna ma roads, hakuna ma gates, hakuna chi. That doesn't know where musoro memunhu kuti kana kuine zvinhu zvakadai, what's the reason of relocating? Vananga vachanodzidza kupi, zvichazomira sei? So I've been thinking about these things, and I've been talking to my wife and saying, we want to go back and start something. And there is also, like I said, a trend of videos on social media of couples, of individuals. We have moved mainly from South Africa, going back to Zimbabwe to start over again. Some have relocated, or some have built homes and houses in Zimbabwe from the UK, but they haven't actually gone to Zim. But it's no ma video imba dzavo, tinoona ma video yematanga vehuku nezvakawanda, and all these things they show us, they give us hope to say ndikadzokera zvinonoita. Ndichiona danga remunhu remombe, ndichiona huku dzake dzakawanda, ndiona kunge zvichanoita. But is that what's real on the ground? There are also stories of those who started from zero. There are those who started from nothing. Let's talk about Miss V. If you go on YouTube, your channel, Miss V, she said, ndakabva South Africa ndisina chinhu. Let's talk about vana batsi batsina P. I was following their journey vachibva South Africa. At least there's something. But I was watching a video yesterday when she was saying, mari yekutobva kuSouth Africa kuti tiende takatokwereta because hatina kupiwa rent deposit yedu yataifanira kushandisa kuti tizofamba muroad tichishandisa. So these are stories. Some couples came from as far as Ukraine. I think Anna Anchi, they are deep in the rural. These are stories of people who are on the ground, who are doing it, who are making it. And the Dome are trigger. A lot of people are now being triggered to say, if these people are making it, what about me? Also, I can also make it. Because you begin to think of, you begin to think of the rentals. You begin to think of fees per month. You begin to think of the bills. Besides that, just the fear of living, foreign currencies, kukura kwe crime, asi kuti kuZimbabwe hakuna crime, but pane zvimwe zvinhu zvekuti unoshaya peace uchingofunga nezvazvo. We are not running away from responsibility. We are not saying there are no responsibility in South Africa or in the diaspora, but those things, trouble, and you begin to think, what must I do? The only solution is to go home and start from zero. One thing that I want us to know is that I'm not saying we're struggling. I'm not saying we're struggling. Right now, I'm living in a very good house, very nice house. My whole family is here. My wife, my children, we are all here. They're going to nice schools. I have a nice car. Tine tumudziyo twedu tunogona kungodiwa mumba mese mevanhu tunenge tune vanhu vese. Zvekutoti uri kuZimbabwe zvinhu zvese zviri muno zviriko vanhu vanenge vachiti munhu akagara zvakanaka. But where is that? Why peace is kuuya? Why am I not finding myself at peace? Why am I not happy? Because you'd find that there is no joy. There is no that inner joy within me. And you know, I want to say this. Kuno South Africa, but I didn't have I've never bought things on credit. I never borrowed. At this moment in time, I don't owe anyone any cent. I don't owe any bank any cent. I don't owe anyone anything. But I feel like I owe myself a lot of things. I owe myself the peace that I deserve. I owe my peace that sense of belonging that I deserve. And that can only be obtained when I'm seated, probably in a round hut or a 2-room house. We might be sleeping on the floor, floor, waking up, ndichibuda panze ndichiona zuva richibuda ndichidaidzira kuti mangwanani maswera sei in my own language sanibonani kunjani linjani, speaking in my own Zimbabwean language. I feel that belonging. There's that peace that comes only with that. But then I remain staying in the same environment that's not giving me joy. Ndoramba ndiri environment yo isiri kundipa mfaro iwoyo. Ndoramba ndiri environment yo ndichitokudza vana ndichitokurawo kuzosvika pamwe pacho kutozochererwa uri foreign land. There is that fear of going back. Fear. So is relocating for everyone? Is the rural life in Zimbabwe for everyone? I was asking my wife yesterday and we were talking. And she was saying, I grew up in the rural areas in Wedza. I went to primary school. But that life was okay. But I don't think I want to repeat that life again. And if kuti ngade kuti ndinodzokera ndonyatsoita upenyu hwomusha uya futi handidi. Which means inini ndikazvitarisa unenge ndichifunga kuti pandotonyatsodzokera zveshuwa here ndichiswera nemadhara ari kuita ndare aye kana kuti ndozonyatsoita sei. So when you talk of relocation, that's the picture that comes. Kuti ndikunoswera ndiri pamavhaire pa tichinwa doro zvedu tiri tikambodaiso toenda kwaMurambinda tikazombowana bhazi tokwira ndiJohn Ray here takananga kuMbare kuHarare. Is that the kind of life that we're talking about when you're saying we want to go to Zimbabwe and relocate? This might not be appealing to everyone. Maybe to those who are in their 50s, late 50s, 60s, who are saying we want to retire. Takupota tichimuka mangwana tichinoverenga mombe kudanga. Takumuka mangwana tichinokama mukaka tichiona kuti zvakamira sei kudanga nekuona nana sabhuku nekuenda kumusangano noitwa yaya. This is the kind of life that a 40-year-old, a 35-year-old, a 25-year-old who might be watching this video saying this is for me. If it is not, if rural life is not for everyone, then definitely there has to be another life in Zimbabwe, which can be urban life, peri-urban. Because there is this, tikaenda kuZimbabwe unogona kutoita Harare yako uri kudorowa, Harare yako uri kupi. That might be true to some context, but chokwadi Harare is not, Domboshava is not Harare, Murambinda is not Harare. Pane noise yatajaira kunoku tunoida ticharamba tichiiwana here when you move back. Pane tumwe tu busy twatajaira tiri kuno tichatuwana here when I go to Zim. So, and also other people are resisting this because they feel that moving to Zim is too good a story. The luxury, because I want to wachifara wachididi vachidya makerosi vachirima zvibage zvichibva zvaita vachiita nzimbe vachiita mafruits akadi. It looks like it's too good to be true. Then the question would be, if Zimbabwe was all that rosy and if Zimbabwe had all that opportunities and resources, why did we move in the first place? What triggered our move to go into the diaspora if Zimbabwe was all that good? My answer to that is that there was a time when I moved around 2009, there was a wave of hunger. We had money, but there were no commodities. The economic and political environment wasn't very conducive. And we thought we needed to look for greener pastures. Then we came to South Africa and we managed to sustain our families from this country. But there's a time when you grow up, there's a time when you grow, you mature, and you get to a level where you think to say, now I've done my part, I've worked, and it's time for me to rest. It's time for me to enjoy the sweat of my work. For 16 years I've been working in South Africa. But there's a time now when you begin to think and say, what's next? I was happy, but I'm not happy. I have everything, but I don't have joy. I can eat nesadzi izvo tikanonotenga full chicken tikona kutonitenga tikadya full chicken. Tikona kutonotenga 5 kg yenyama tikaigocha tikadya. But then there's no that sense of belonging in the place. There's no that sense of saying, I have my own things. It's like I'm just passing, I visited, I'm not staying. And I feel now that if I'm just living a life whereby it's like I'm staying and I'm visiting and I'm not staying, what about my children? What legacy am I going to leave for them? Will they ever know what owning something means? Will they ever know what building a legacy means? What, fighting for stability in your own country means? Will they be like me? Ndinongotiza namo ndobva ndatiza ndonakirwa nemahospital evamwe nezvinhu zvevamwe without me staying in my own country and trying to solve things on my own. Toda kungonesana ndini ndiri kufunga. And kune vane madoubts, I'm taking this journey. And this is a journey that I want us to walk together. I've heard zvichinzi kuzimu you can start where you are with what I have, which is something that I always say also. Tangira pauri nezvawinazvo izvozvo. Zvinogoneka here. I want to take a 35-day journey to Zimbabwe. I'm trying to be vulnerable. Trying very much to be vulnerable. Whereby I'm showing you probably a journey that munhu wese ada kuita relocation can do. I've acquired flight tickets. Saka mandotenga matiketi endege. Saka mune mari mutonotangira right. I'm going to go with nothing. I want to start from zero. And I want us to build and to walk the journey together. And see if it is possible. I want to also learn from those who have gone to Zim, how they've made it. Tinogona kuenda Zimbabwe usina chawinacho. Chingouya zvoita. Those are tinonzwa every day. But zvinogoneka here. In these 35 days, that answer will be given to you. 35 days that I'm going to take in Zim. I'm going to be giving you feedback. I'm going to be coming here every day with a vlog showing you kuti zvakamira sei. Is it possible to start from zero? Pandichadona, are you going to help me? Pandichashaya rata, who is going to help me? Who is going to stand with me? Ichokwadi here kuti vanhu vari kuZimbabwe vanobatsirana. Ichokwadi here kuti vanhu vari kunze vanobatsirana. I want to take the test. Science taiti must test era yataizoita iya kuti find the carbon what. There was a test that we used to do. I want to be part of that test. So that at one point, there's someone who's saying, I want to be convinced. I also want to be convinced that it's possible. Even though I feel a strong feeling in me to be in Zimbabwe. But I also want to be convinced. I want to be 100% sure that it will work out. So there are those who have been convincing me, those who have been pushing me, those who have been saying, Pastor, it is possible. I'm going to be meeting them in Zimbabwe. I'm going to be talking to them to say, why did you encourage me to be here? I do have a calling to say I should be here. But how am I going to run things? So, did you see? I told you the cottage that we built is not ours, it's my mother's. We're going to start there. And if I'm staying there, what will I be doing? How will I generate income? Do you want to be married every day? How am I going to be working? There's things that I've strategized, there are things that I put on paper, there are things that I think will work out. But these 35 days will show me whether it's just a dream or that's the reality to come to reality. It will manifest, the dream manifest, or it will just remain a dream. And this will help some of you who are considering relocating. The obstacle, some of them I'll be fighting with you. You'll be giving me ideas to say, now day number 5, can you try to do this? You don't check Copacabana, do this. We want to walk this journey together. Zimbabwe is a great nation. It shall be the breadbasket of Africa. And I'm proud to be Zimbabwean. And I feel that a lot of people should come and invest in Zimbabwe. I pray for a time when the millions of Zimbabweans who are out of Zim would come back home. That brain drain that happened, my engineers, my doctors, we pray for that day. The economic environment, the political environment, it is stable. I pray for that day. But I want to start the journey today. I want to start the journey now. I want to go there and see what's on the ground. See it, experience it. And I was saying, those who said, I'm going up ground, let me tell you, I will share with you the costs of everything, from the air tickets, the Uber. I'm not driving. At first I thought of driving to Zim with my car, but I thought of leaving it here. I'll leave my car. I'll be taking flight. I'll be doing the day-to-day. If it means kutora makombi, I'll taking the kombis. If it means mshika-shika, whatever it is, I want to experience it. I want to be there and see how it goes. And on this journey, can you please go with me? I want to experience the load shedding, experience the data problems, experience the water crisis, and see if it's workable, and if this relocation thing is not being oversold. No. At the bottom of my mind, I know, I'm praying that it's going to work. That's my prayer, it is going to work. And that's my belief that it will work. But the question that I asked in the moment I started this video, where I said, is rural living for everyone? Can you start over in Zimbabwe? I personally think I might not be a rural boy, but I can live in Zimbabwe. I can make it in Zimbabwe, any part of Zimbabwe, even though I'm not a rural boy. I never thought I would survive in South Africa, in Durban, in Johannesburg. But I became a Joburger, I became a Durbaner. So what can stop me from becoming a rural boy in my own country? I want to see the transaction, the transition. I want to see the move. I want to see if it's going to work out for the best or to be the worst decision ever. If you're willing to go with me through the journey, just leave a comment and say, let me know that you will be following my journey. Let me know that we will be walking together this journey. And if we arrive, we're going to arrive together. It's going to be, I'm seeing experiences. I told you at some point that I also have started a chicken project in Zim, which means already I've placed a small seed there, and I want to see how it's doing. The little, but we want to see how it's progressing. Is it feasible? Is it something that's lucrative? We can find out together. We can see together. You can help me to think. And every day I'll be coming for the comments, to just to check in the comment section to see, are we moving together? Or we have left some. And when I feel weak, please push me, please encourage me. After 35 days, we'll remember this first video. So the next time you see or you watch a video here, probably I'll be packing my bags. I'll be heading to the airport. And I'll be showing you every cost of everything. The airport, the tax, the Uber, the whatever that we're going to be using, the InDrive, the Chingoro guy, whatever. But I want to go to Zim with nothing. Where does this journey begins? Let's just keep on watching this channel. My name is Godwin Chirume. Just for collaboratives, for anything that you feel you want to talk to me, help me, and you want us to connect, Ndibate, get in touch with me. My WhatsApp number is in the description. And also my Facebook page, Godwin Chirume. You can also send me a message on Messenger or the bigger page, Masasi Wana Zamara Mata. Let's work together. Let's see if this will work out. If you have watched this video up until now, please don't forget to subscribe. To meet again in my next video. Have a blessed day. Peace.